G'day. Wait for everyone to come in. Wait for Brendan to jump on. Uh, Hope everyone's been well. Hi, Clark's Q1. All right. Okay, Brendan.
How you going, mate?
Hey, Brendan, how are you?
Good, thanks, mate. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How are you? What have you been up to this morning?
Uh, bit of training this morning. Bit of, I don't know, went to Bunnings, took my dog to Bunnings. Had to get my dad a birthday present.
Oh, nice. Good time to get out now.
Yeah.
Um, so I've just got some questions here for you. Thanks for jumping on.
No,
So we've got plenty of questions uh, from our followers and a few of your fans. So yeah, we'll just get kick started. So how did you get into swimming? What made you pick up the sport?
so for me, I think it was more around mum and dad always were spent the weekends at the beach, and I think they just wanted me to be water safe growing up,
Yeah,
and sort of just chucked me and learned to swim. I don't know how old I might have been, probably like 8 months old, who knows?
yeah,
Pretty much did learn to swim all the way through, and yeah, I wouldn't say I really picked up a love or an enjoyment of it until I lost my leg at the age of 6. So that's kind of more
yeah,
when uh, I started to develop a bit of a passion for it, I guess.
yeah. So I know the story about how you lost your leg, but for our viewers that aren't aware, um, how is it that happened?
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I've contracted chickenpox at the age of 6, and they essentially caused a DVT, which is deep vein thrombosis or blood clot in my lower right leg. That led to a number of complications, and pretty much it was in the main vein that goes back to your heart. So I was sort of losing blood, I guess. It wasn't just returning to my heart, and the decision sort of came to my parents whether to amputate my leg and sort of hopefully live a happy and enjoy full life, or we
Yeah,
keep trying to get rid of the clot um, and probably risk his life in the process, which was a very high possibility because I'd already been in cardiac arrest for about 27 and a half minutes beforehand. So pretty tough decision for mum and dad, I guess. Thankfully enough, they made the right decision. Obviously decided to amputate my leg through my knee, and yeah, lost the majority of my hearing. So I'm fully deaf in my right ear, even though it looks like I
wow,
can hear things right now. But fully deaf in my right ear, and only like a little bit of hearing left in my left ear. So that was all because of the chicken pox. And yeah, that was the
yeah,
story of how I lost my leg.
wow, wow. That's a pretty incredible story, really, and how you've overcome that with your whole swimming career. You've achieved so much, even still. So that's yeah, incredible. Um,
Yeah, hopefully
is
still
there a
got a
particular
few
per
few more years to go.
Yeah. Is there a particular person that you look up to?
For me, I think when I became made aware of Paralympic swimming, I guess, and I sort of went to school nationals one year, and I think I might have been grade 5 or something like that, or grade 6, anyway, around there. And I got to see Matthew Cowdery race in person for the first time in my life. Obviously, he'd just been to Athens and had a pretty successful Paralympic Games in 2004, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be racing this guy. This is classification that I'm in, and I realized who he was and what he could do, and I was like, I got a bit of work to do, and I was lucky enough to make my first team, and he was on it, and he was always someone I looked up to and still do look up to today. Just as how he carried himself as a person outside of swimming, as well as I guess being on the team and what he was able to do inside in the pool as well, is kind of one of the people who I looked up to.
Yeah. Do you keep in touch with him?
Yeah, we obviously he's a busy person down in South Australia now, running in
Yeah.
busy working in politics and that, and you try and
Yeah.
get a message in here and there, but Cowdery's always known as one of those guys who you send him a message and you probably won't reply for another 3 months. So, you just shoot him a message and hope that one day, yeah, you'll get a reply. We try and keep in touch as much as we can.
What challenges have you faced throughout your career?
Oh, I wouldn't say I've really encountered a few challenges, even though I've had a bit of a longish career. I probably wouldn't say long yet.
Yeah.
It's only been pretty recent, the last few challenges. So end of mid 2018, I broke my hand. So it's the first time I experienced an injury as such. Sort of had to learn to negotiate how around that. I kind of had to persuade the doctors, I guess, to sort of allow me to train. So they're like, "Oh, you really shouldn't be training." And I was like, "Well, is there a way to do it?" So yeah, anyway, I got the hand in a splint, and I sort of trained every day anyway, regardless of how much it was hurting. So that was kind of the first one. It kind of impacted me the most, just purely because it restricted the way that I could do things in the pool, and it was my dominant hand as well. So kind of, because I'm missing my leg, I kind of rely on my hands a fair bit and my arms a fair bit. So it was a bit annoying that I wasn't able to use it properly, but got through all of that. And then I think probably I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but obviously like last year at World Champs, I encountered my first loss in like 10 years in the 400 freestyle. Obviously that's my main event.
Yeah.
I guess it was more of a turning point for me to sort of, pull my finger out and get my effort back into training. And it was a bit of a wake up call, and yeah, kind of really reignited the passion in what I actually do in swimming and why I love it. And I was actually kind of really thankful that it kind of did happen.
Yeah.
So they're probably the biggest challenge I've encountered. Obviously, you get day-to-day ones like, oh, I don't really feel like walking today. My leg's kind of stuffed, but I don't really see them as challenges. They're just kind of things that happen in everyday life, and find ways around them so they're not that difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, your failures have really brought out your successes, haven't they?
Jeez.
What short-term and long-term goals do you have?
Short term is probably just getting back to full fitness in the pool at the moment, like everybody else.
Yeah.
Within Queensland anyway. I'm fortunate for everyone down in Melbourne at the moment, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, just getting back to fitness. I was starting to hit times at the start of the year that I sort of hadn't hit for 6 years. So I was feeling pretty good with training and everything. Obviously, just put it into long term, hopefully a successful Tokyo campaign next year. I'd like to be able to defend my title in the 400 freestyle. Hopefully try and make that 3 in a row, which I'm really keen to be able to do. And hopefully when the time comes, I can do it. Probably try and, throw a few extra swims in there if I can. Also, outside the pool, doing a Bachelor of Physiotherapy degree. So hopefully work my way through that, graduate before Paris comes around, when we're talking extra long term. And yeah, we'll see what happens then.
Yeah. And this one's a bit of a follow-up question. So what is one goal that you want to achieve before you retire? So what is the number one thing that you want to achieve?
Well, for me, I think it's always been my goal since I started to come as close as I possibly can to the 4-minute mark.
Yeah.
The 4-minute mark in the 400 freestyle.
Yeah,
So I think if I can, get as close to that, but
yeah. Oh, starting to lose you a little bit.
going a bit staticky.
Yeah, yeah. That's all good. Oh, nice. So yeah, under the 4 minute mark, that would be insane.
Yeah,
That
that's like for an S9, that's like my ultimate goal. And S9 Paralympic swimming, I have the world record at the moment of 4:09. So if I could try and find an extra 9 seconds or so, or if I could get like 4:01, 4:02, I will be absolutely stoked before I finish. But yeah, that's the ultimate long-term goal. Hopefully, we can try and get as close as possible.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Um, what inspires you to keep going even when you're not going well?
Who won? That's a good question. For me, it was I have had a few downs, I guess, after unsuccessful world championships, and for me, it was the moments where like you go out and you sort of find ways to give back to the community, and you're doing all the school talks, or you go to swim club visits, some of that sort of stuff, and you start to sort of, I don't know, inspire young kids, and sort of you tell them this, you tell them your story. All of a sudden, it kind of starts to like hit you. And I remember as to like why I started swimming in the first place, and how much I enjoy it and how much I love it. And for me, that sort of was had the ability to sort of re-spark a bit of um, that motivation to want to get back in and get the job
Yeah,
done. And I tell you, especially after last year, nothing motivates you more than, losing, or coming
yeah,
second in my case, um, to get back in and do better and become better and find other ways to become better. So yeah, they're the sort of things that motivate me.
yeah. Um, so we've got a fan in here saying, "Do you remember Lewis Bishop?"
I wonder if he said that in himself. Of course, I remember Lewis Bishop. I just hope he is. I hope he's working hard. A bit of up and coming friendly competition there. So I remember when I was his age, when I was coming up. So you always have the big boys to look up to. But then, when I first met him, he was a lot smaller. But now he's like, when he's catching your size, you're kind of like, I thought he was smaller than this.
Yeah,
But yeah,
suddenly
it's good.
puberty hits.
Yeah, and like, I don't remember you being this big. But yeah, no, it's good to see the up and coming competition. And I was there when I met him. I first met him at the Children's Hospital. Sort of, took him, like, let him and his mum know that, like, that if you lose your leg, it's not the end of the world. There's a lot of things out there. So hopefully, sort of inspired him a little bit. But yeah, now I'm a bit
Yeah,
worried because that competition that's up and coming trying to take me out. So hopefully I can hold him off for a little bit longer.
yeah. Well, he's got another year to prepare for the Paras, so
Yeah, he's got an extra 12 months up his sleeve now. So who knows? He's probably like been doing all this extra secret work to try and get on top of everything. But yeah, hopefully he's doing training hard.
yeah, and he'll be 7 foot tall.
Oh God, I hope not.
How do you stay calm before a race? Like, what is your strategy going into a big meet? Like, do you use music? Do you think about just the hard work that you do and you have the confidence to then go in, so then it'll just keep you calm? What is it that you do?
Oh, I saw this question and I was like, this is a tough one for me to answer because like I've always considered myself pretty calm before every sort of race. I've never
Yeah,
really used anything as such to sort of get me in that zone in the marshalling room. Obviously, I listen to a bit of music on the way into the pool and when I'm stretching and before I get in for warm up. But then after that, it's kind of like, well, warm up's done. You sort of just get ready. You go to the marshalling room, and I'm generally like 99% of the time I'm pretty calm when we get to the marshalling room and ready to go. I think it's just the
yeah,
fact that I've had belief and confidence in the hard work that I've done to sort of get me to this point. That's usually the case. Whereas Rio, for example, in 2016, where I was going to defend my 400 freestyle title, it was kind of the first sort of instance where I sort of felt nerves in my life. I was in the Martian room and my hands were starting to shake, and I was like, oh, I was becoming aware of like, what, like, is this what nerves is? It was kind of that weird moment where I was like, since when do I get nervous? So I was like remembering back to all these sort of techniques that they teach you, and you learn along the way to sort of, keep those nerves under control and calm yourself down, and had to remember all the deep breathing techniques, the visualization, the repetitive cues, all that sort of stuff. It was, my main swim was the first swim in Rio, so I didn't really want to stuff it up. Everyone kind of knows that their first swim sometimes is just a blow out the cobwebs sort of swim.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh God, I don't want it to be a blow out of the cobwebs swim. Like, I want it to be a pretty decent swim. I want to be able to win that gold medal. So
Yeah.
it was just going over in my mind the whole time. I was like, oh, crap, mate, you got to don't lose this medal, don't lose this medal, don't lose this medal, don't lose this medal. So it was just going through my head, and I had to take a few deep breaths before I walked out. Finally got everything under control, and just before we walked out, I was calm and ready to go. And then when I was on the blocks, my head was nice and clear again. And that's those techniques that's the effect that I kind of wanted from those techniques. I wanted to make sure that I was clear and level headed before I jumped on the blocks. And sometimes it may not always work, but thankfully at that point in time it did.
So you got a bit of a super fan here. It's from Regan Thorne. And she said, this isn't a question. I just want to let you know how inspiring you are. So you must get quite a lot of this.
Yeah. So first of all, shout out to Regan. Thanks very much for that. Really appreciate that. I probably do get a little bit here and there, but I guess my intention was I never really set out to sort of be inspiring or sort of ignite that kind of feeling in other people. When I think about it, it's kind of like, well, I just I'm doing something that I really love and that I enjoy. And I guess I'm really thankful that, in a way, because of what I'm doing and what I do love, is that it has that ability to inspire people. So
yeah,
it's kind of a weird feeling, I guess. It's sort of hard to explain. Like, it's not something that that you're used to every day, really expect. So to know that you sort of inspired someone to sort of, go on and chase their dreams, whether it be, swimming or any other sport, or whether it's anything in academics or like the arts and all that sort of stuff. It's always interesting to know that you've had that little bit of a, I guess, sprinkle of fairy dust, if you like to call it, to sort of, send them on their pathway. And it's always good when you kind of hear you've affected someone like that.
Yeah. So on to food now. Because swimmers love food.
Tough
what is
subject.
your go-to food? Yeah. Gets you in trouble most days.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah, your go-to food, and what is your favorite food?
Oh, what can I say on here that's not going to get me in trouble with my dietitian? That's the real question. Hello, Liam Schluter. If we ask Liam, well, you know that it's always going to be pizza, because that's where you always found him, in the dining hall in Rio. He ate too much pizza before he swims. For me, I'd probably have to say my go-to food. It's probably a well-cooked pasta. It's quick, it's easy, and at the moment, when my wife cooks it, she nails it every time. So I really do enjoy a good pasta. And, it's carb loading, right? You're allowed to do that sort of stuff. So
so is pizza, kind of.
Yeah. So I'd probably say that's my go-to food. Always ready for training when I've had a pasta. Sorry. It's good. My favorite food, however, it's just, food is so good in general. It's so hard to pick a favorite one. I'd have to be. I love seafood. I can't go past
Yeah.
a good seafood dish. Anything with seafood in it, I'll go for that. And then on top of that, there's always a really good ice cream to finish. I'm pretty happy with that. Ice cream in general is probably one of my weaknesses, I'd have to say. So I've had to learn to sort of cut back on that over the last few years, especially over the last year. So yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be my favorite one. It'd be an ice cream.
Do you have a favorite country? So you've been in the swimming game for a really, really long time. Visited, dozens of
Yeah,
countries. What is your favorite?
I've been to a few. Yeah, I think the first time I went to Rio, I was in Brazil. I was in grade 11, and I missed my final exams for the year. Well, I didn't really miss them. I had to do mine 2 weeks earlier, but I was away when everybody else was doing them. We were in a hotel by the beach, and at that time I thought, oh yeah, Brazil, it's pretty cool. We had a hotel on the beach. The food was quite good, I thought. So I really loved it there. But then I'd probably have to put when we went to the Netherlands um, over in Europe, went to a place called Eindhoven. So for
Yeah.
World Champs the year after in 2010, it's probably one of my favorite pools to swim in as well. Where I won my first proper world champion gold medal in my 400 free. I think I really enjoyed it over there. The weather was relatively all right. Yeah, I think it was kind of like, it reminded me of being home, but at the same time it was unique being in a different country. And it was just really funny. With this one point in time, Blake Cochrane's coach back then was Steve Hadler, Jaden Hadler's dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And from that trip, we learnt to never let Steve drive the team vans ever again whenever we went on a trip, purely because, one, when he sort of took off from places, he realized he was driving on the wrong side of the road, going the wrong way. So that was quite funny sometimes when we all of a sudden were going head on with a car. But then I think at the same time it was probably, I'd say, one of the coaches who racked up one of the most speeding fines ever on a trip. So yeah, it was a good fun in that trip.
Sounds a bit like Jaden, to be honest. I now know where he gets it from.
It doesn't really surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all.
What is the number one company that you'd love to be sponsored by one day?
Look, I'd love before the end of my career is up to hopefully be able to try and somehow join Team Speedo.
Yep.
Yeah, it'd probably be up there on my number one list at the moment.
Yep.
Just because I love them. I've been swimming in them for as long as I can remember, and I love being able to race in it. Outside of swimming, any car company would be like fantastic. Like Volkswagen, VW, something like that. But
Yeah.
yeah, Speedo is pretty much at the top of my list.
Oh, wow. Well, maybe they can join in, or we'll tag them after.
What's that, sorry?
Maybe we can tag them in this after.
Yeah, maybe. Throw a shout
Just
out.
give a
See
little
what
name
happens.
drop.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
knows? See what happens. It's just you don't realize how many like pairs of togs and goggles you sort of go throughout the year, and you're just like, oh wow, it's
Yeah.
a big collection. And the current question from my wife is, so are you getting rid of any of these? And I'm like, oh, I might wear them later. I might use them later. So it's a constant build up of togs and goggles around the house that probably don't really need to be here.
Bit like every swimmer's house, really.
Yeah.
What do you do when you're not swimming?
When I'm not swimming, obviously I do through the summer months from September, pretty much September till April. I'm also involved in surf lifesaving. So I'm in the red and yellow every second weekend on the beach, making sure everyone's safe. I do a bunch of school talks here and there whenever I can, whenever I've got time for them. Swimming club visits, a number of those. And then on top of all that, usually I'm doing my second degree. I've had a degree in Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science. So that was my first degree, and now I'm doing Bachelor of Physiotherapy. So yeah, for the 2 halves of the year, that's what I'm doing. I'm busy studying, working my way through that. Thankfully enough, at the moment, I'm enjoying uni holidays. So got one more week of them, and then I'm back into it again for the year, which wasn't the plan originally for this year, but hopefully
Yeah.
try and get a bit ahead for this next year. And so, yeah, I find ways to sort of keep myself busy and hopefully set myself up for life after swimming at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Favorite person on the Australian swim team?
Oh, I saw this question and I was like, is this going to cause arguments if I answer this? Or like, do I have to pick favorite person from, like the Oz Dolphins team in total? Or are we talking like favorite person from, we have like the Able Bods or like the Power Squad? So I was like, how do I like answer this
Can be
question without
anyone.
hurt?
Can be
Yeah,
someone that you look up to. Can be someone that you've roomed with. Anyone.
I think I'd probably just have to go with Scooter. I can't go past Grant Scooter Patterson,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
purely because that guy provides so many laughs and pure entertainment gold from him all the time when we go away. And yeah, if you're feeling down, he just somehow always manages to like, pretty much flip the frown upside down, I guess. And yeah, it really improves your mood just by being in his presence. I thought, it's always funny when we're trying to have a conversation with him. If I'm walking along, I'm pretty sure he's trying to yell up top. It's a bit of an effort to try and hear sometimes, but we get there in the end. But yeah, I think he'd probably have to be my favorite person, just purely because he provides that, the daily entertainment in the team environment, which is always good fun.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Well, you had a big list of people to choose from. I was like, when someone sent that in, I was thinking, oh, geez, wonder how I
it's
can
a
answer
very
this one.
it's a very big list. Like I enjoy a lot of people.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm best mates with my roomie that I've pretty much been rooming with since Beijing. Blake Cochran. Can't go past him.
Yeah.
But so always good fun to be able to go on teams with him and sort of see where we all are in time. But yeah, I guess you have favorite people for certain different things, and I think
Yeah.
that's just sort of like how the puzzle pieces of the team sort of go together. Everyone kind of has their role to play, and yeah, I've got that many favorites of people that are on the team. It's kind of hard to pick, but let's put Scooter up the top.
Yeah. One person in history you could meet and why. So this could be from anybody in history.
Yeah, God, that that was a tough question, and like just trying to like think back. God, anyone in history? I was like, I don't think I even paid attention to history that much when I was in school. So like, do I actually really like, know know who I would want to visit in history? Or like even up to now, you sort of grow up having so many different inspirations in different areas of life. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like the one person I purely wouldn't mind like being able to meet is like Neil Armstrong, just
Yeah.
purely because like he's been somewhere where a lot of people haven't, and I would just love to be able to pick someone's brain like that, just to sort of see what he was thinking personally in that point in time, and how much trust and faith did he have in everyone to get him where he needed to be at that point in time. So I think that's one person I wouldn't mind really meeting.
Very unique answer. I wasn't really expecting that.
What were you expecting?
Oh, I was expecting probably, I don't know, like a swimmer. I guess every swimmer in that sort of situation will probably say Michael Phelps or Ant Thorpe or something a bit cliche
Oh,
like that. But
y-
yeah, wasn't expecting that.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't get me wrong. If you said like if you could meet anyone, who would it be? I'd probably definitely say Phelps, but like purely because the fact that the word history is in that question, it's kind of like,
yeah,
well,
yeah,
like, yeah, everyone has those interests, you know, outside of swimming, and it's kind of like
yeah,
just one of those ones. It's like I just feel like he'd be one of those people that'd be really cool to chat to.
yeah. What are you up to? Are you into any other sports besides swimming?
Oh, too many, way too many. I kind of go in and out of sports here and there as they sort of go throughout the season. I love my tennis, love watching tennis when I can.
Yeah,
I love NRL, obviously
yeah,
being a Brizzy boy. You know, NRL kind of grew up watching that, loving that. Can't say I love the Brisbane Broncos right now, but hopefully they've done a bit of
yeah,
a turnaround and see where they go from there. Thankfully, Melbourne Storm's still going strong, so happy about that. Um, I do enjoy a bit of golf here and there. I just not as probably don't get to play it as much as I want to.
yeah,
Always love the cricket when it comes around. I played cricket when I was younger, so pretty much played cricket up until I made the Paralympic team, just like club cricket in 2008, and really loved being able to do that every weekend with my mates. And yeah, something that I always enjoy being able to watch. And then obviously, I probably have to say netball as well. I love being able to watch that.
yeah. Oh, you got a variety there. Jeez.
Yeah, like I said, too many. It's kind of like, well, what, you know, once one sport finishes, another sport starts. So you got to find
Yeah.
something else to watch during that time. So yeah, that's what I do.
And last question, what advice would you give your younger self today?
Oh, God, that's. I've been thinking about this question the most, to be honest, just purely because like I feel like I'm still young myself. Like at what age do I give myself like certain advice? Um, yeah, I think for me it'd just be like never doubt yourself and always have confidence within your ability of belief. I think that's
Yep.
probably the one that I've kind of sort of drifted apart away from over the last 2 years in and out of. I've found it
Yep.
back now, but I'd probably have to say, yeah, it's something that like that I didn't. If I had known that like it was going to be that hard to hold on to that self belief and confidence, I probably would have been a little bit better prepared for it when the time does come around. But at the same time,
Yep.
I was kind of glad that I did have that dip because I was able to sort of, yeah, sort of have to re-find it. And but yeah, I think that's something that I'd probably about have to tell my younger self is that like, never stop believing in yourself and always have that self confidence to know that you're going to get the job done. I think that's something that a lot of people struggle to sort of be able to come to terms with when going on and doing anything in life. Really, it's just the fact that like if you have the confidence to do it, you can actually just be able to do anything. And um, yeah, I think that's what I'd probably tell my younger self.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So thanks heaps for jumping on.
No worries.
And thank you for everyone who sent in questions. Um, what have you got planned for the weekend?
Well, probably training first thing Saturday morning.
Yep.
Uh, Good old training, and then it's actually my dad's birthday today, obviously. So got a breakfast with him tomorrow after training, and yeah, I think it's going to be a
Yeah.
pretty chill weekend after that. So at the moment, it's just about trying to recover from all the training load at the moment. That's always been a big bit
Yeah,
of fun, getting back into everything. So yeah, who knows? Might have a little adventure on Sunday. Not 100% sure yet, but we'll see what happens. See where the weekend takes us.
yeah, yeah, and weather too.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Oh, thankfully, it stays like the weather it currently is, and we can kind of actually have adventures. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Thanks again, Brendan. Thanks for jumping on, and yeah, have a good day and good weekend.
Or Cole, favorite milk?
Oh, yeah, you got to answer this one.
Oh, hey, Cole, if you're listening, mate, what do you mean by milk brand? Are we talking like Norco, Paul's, or like Mulaney, or are we talking like chocolate, strawberry, or like what's the go, mate? I just want milk that tastes like real milk. Is that the answer you're after? I'm
Or
pretty
what
sure that's
about
what
both?
it'd be after.
What about both? What about flavor and just normal milk brand?
Yeah. Um, Oak or Big M. Oh, Oak, mate.
Oh.
I'll probably go Oak out of that. Can't go past a chocolate Oak, mate.
Bit of a
Num-
strange
number,
question to finish off.
a bit of Cole Pierce there for you. Always the strange questions. Likes to call me old timer. This fella thinks he's a bit mischievous.
I can tell.
Mate, chocolate milk, number one protein drink right there. Recovery straight up.
Yeah, yeah. It's not even an argument between strawberry and chocolate.
Yeah, it's pretty clear cut, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. Thanks again, Brendan. And have a good one. I'll see you around.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll see you around as well. Have a good one.
Yeah. See ya. All right. That is it.